We're live on YouTube. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AFTCAST Tenerife Afternoons. I'm your host, Tim Dowd. On today's show, we're going to have a little bit of weather. We're going to have the update of the COVID situation. We're also going to go over to Janet Anscombe. She's got quite a few headlines there today. And a quick look at the government website that didn't change too much. Today is Thursday, the 8th of April, 2021. Enjoy the show. So welcome, YouTubers. This is the uncut version, so that was the introduction for the podcast. The next section is the weather. But before we go on to that, I'm going to solo me. Oh, solo me, oh. And you can see there's lovely blue skies again today. I've upped the exposure by 1 notch, so I'm a little bit lighter. What I should do is get some lights or something. I've got some lights, but just can't be bothered setting them up in the middle of the day. And if you want to go wider, we can. Zoop. There you go. There's a nice wide view for you. Behind me, there's nobody in the pool at the moment. It is, what time is it? It is 1:38 in the afternoon on April the 8th. So, let's go straight ahead into the weather, shall we? Okay. Stripping down nude. It always makes me laugh when I read that. How are you guys? I hope you enjoyed Balcony Banter last night. If you didn't see, you can go watch it on catch up. I shall put it up here. We're around about 2 minutes and 18 seconds in, so I should be able to get the card up there by the time we've done it. And let's frame this a little bit better for us. There we go. That's better. That's a nice, good framing. Okay, so here's the weather. Well, there's going to be plenty of weather in the next few days, as they say. Here's the weather for this week. Now, all the stuff that they said about the cloud has gone away. So it's going to be sunny today, tomorrow, Saturday a bit cloudy. The rain on Sunday's magically disappeared as Monday, but now we're getting thunderstorms on Tuesday. They make it up as they go along, I think. They really do make it up as they go along. If we nip out to the Atlantic there, you'll see that we're in the middle of some clouds, but there's none hitting us right at the moment. If you don't see anything, it's because you're listening on a podcast and not joining us on YouTube for the uncut version. If you want to join us uncut, go to youtube.com/LWMST. If we zoom out to the Atlantic there, you'll see that there's a couple of lows, so anticyclones in the middle, one just to the west of us, and one right in the middle of the Atlantic there. And if we look at the isobars now, we can see they are really, really big depressions there. That's bringing southern air back up to us, I think, so that's where we're getting the good weather from. And that was your weather for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, just in case you miss anything. So what I do this morning, I didn't go for my walk this morning, so I've got to do stuff. I've got a lot of work on today. I'm taking the recycling, and I've got a load of boxes. We have the new chairs. I don't know if we showed you the new chairs, didn't we? And so I still haven't got rid of the cardboard of that, so I got a load of cardboard. And Christina made me throw all my other boxes away. I hate throwing boxes away, just in case I sell something or I give something away, and I've got the original box for it, and you know, they always sell better if they got original boxes. But she's made me chuck it all away, but I'm not selling them anyway. I got a load of stuff around the corner that you might have seen on a couple of balcony banters that I just need to chuck, but it doesn't go in the trash it's like electronics and wood and stuff like that and glass. So I've got to go to the recycling place up in Punta Limpio in Adeje. Okay, so what we got next? We got COVID. Oh. Actually, on Tenerife, not much changed, but the trend is down, which is good, and it was totally against what I thought it was going to be and what I predicted. So I'll hold my hat or my head in shame for being wrong. Funny how you can be wrong, can't you? Not always right, but I'm never wrong, so they say. COVID-19 updates. Well, this is your COVID for today. It's up to the 7th of April at 2 p.m. and the total Canary Islands came down from the day before at 4,503. But if we nip over to Tenerife, we can see it didn't change at 2,316. The municipalities are still around about the same, with just over 1,200 in Santa Cruz. La Laguna went back over 500, which is a shame. Arona didn't move, I don't think. Adeje went up slightly, and Granadilla de Abona went down slightly, but then there's nothing under... 29 is the next one. Los Riojos. Okay, it's 29 is the next one, so that's good. So the lower populated areas are coming down, which is quite good. The average over the last 7 days has done another dip there with 57.6 average over the last 7 days, which is cool. And that was your COVID for today. Bada-boom. Bada bing, bada boom. So I've got to be really quick today because I promised Christina that I wouldn't spend a lot of time faffing. She says, don't faff. Comments in the if you know what faffing is, and when did you first hear it? Is it a northern thing? I don't know. I really don't know. So we're going to try Janet now. Let's go over to janetanscombe.com to see the headlines there. Janet's leading today with an update on the UK driving licence in Spain. The headline reads, UK licence holders living in Spain who didn't register intent to exchange their licence for a British one will have to take a test to get a Spanish licence after their British one loses validity at the end of June. And she goes on to say, at last, clarity on driving licence for British drivers. As we know, those who live in Spain with a valid UK driving licence will be able to continue using this to drive in Spain until the 30th of June this year. Thereafter, there are two processes to exchange a British licence for a Spanish one, depending on whether the intention to exchange it was registered with Tráfico before the 30th of December 2020 or not. The rules to exchange for those who did register the intention are here, and she leaves a link. But we now know that those who did not register their wish to exchange must now follow the DGT process for non-EU nationals, which includes taking a driving test. There are apparently talks about the possibility in the future for a bilateral agreement, but at this moment in time, that's all up in the air. British driving licenses lose their validity for use in Spain after the 30th of June, and residents wishing to continue driving here must exchange their license one way or another. Just as a side here, I always thought that the British driving license had your address on it, you know, your home address. And if you don't have a home address in the UK, then the British driving license is immediately invalid. So even if you are driving on a British driving license, but the address on it is wrong, it's not valid here in Spain. So I'd be careful if you are here and you're driving on a British driving license with an address that no longer belongs to you, then there could be a problem. Obviously, if you have two addresses or you own a house or in Britain, then it's okay. But yeah, That was a problem I had in Germany, actually. My British license was immediately invalid because the house that's written on it had sold. So anyway, here we go. What we got next for Janet? So there's an update also on the mask wearing around beaches and swimming pools, updated today, the 8th of April, following an outcry over the Spanish government's announcement of the 30th of March that masks were required on the beach and around swimming pools. The Spanish government has resolved the confusion. As I said on the 31st, the Canarian government itself said that it had its own legislation allowing an exemption for beaches, but some local police were prepared to enforce the national law. But Spain has now confirmed that masks can be removed while swimming in the sea or pools, as well as in rest periods before or after swimming, provided physical distancing can be maintained. Masks must be put on when moving around resting places, changing rooms, or in the area of the water. So this to me is a very welcome clarification of the law, that basically if you're moving on the beach, you got to wear your mask, but as soon as you lie on your towel, then you can take your masks off to sunbathe, and that will stop those silly memes coming up with the sunbathing tan line on your mouth there. Also, if you're going to get up and go straight into the sea, you don't need to wear a mask. And if coming back and lying back on your towel, you don't need to wear a mask. Same with the pools here. Whilst you're entering and exiting the pool, or faffing around, as they say, then wear your mask. But if you get off your lounger and jump in the pool, you do not need a mask. Just make sure you're not passing within 2 meters of anybody else whilst you're doing it. Also, keep your distance in the pool if you can. I'm sure you can in our pool. But if they get a bit more crowded, then it's going to be a bit harder. So I think there is still restrictions on the amount of people and the amount of capacity for beaches and pools, but I don't know how that's being policed at the moment, to tell you the truth. Okay, what does Janet have to say also? About the AstraZeneca vaccine in Spain. So updated on the 8th of April. Despite the EMA's confirmation yesterday that the AstraZeneca should continue to be used for all age groups, the subsequent International Health Council of all the regional health departments in Spain decided. National Health Secretary Carolina Darias said last night that Spain will be administering AstraZeneca vaccines from tomorrow only to those over 60. This reverses the earlier policy where AstraZeneca was restricted to younger individuals, and we are to expect further announcements later today after a meeting of the Public Health Commission. So I'm confused now, because I thought it was people under 55 were going to get it, and now it's people over 60 going to get it. So that means I am probably going to get an AstraZeneca vaccine. I don't mind, because the benefits outweigh the risks, according to everybody, and I don't have any underlying problems. Got a bit of high blood pressure and I'm overweight, but I'm sure they'll take that into account. There's still a possibility that I'll get one of the other vaccines. We do have the Moderna and the other one, I can't even remember what it's called. But when I go there, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to get the jab, and afterwards I'll say, what did I get? And they'll say, we gave you a Bill Gates chip. Okay. And finally, on Janet Anson's website, this is a hark back to a story we've been following about Jorge Marichal and his resignation, and then taking the resignation back. So CE Hat joins Ash Hotels in asking Marichal to remain as president of the Tourism Association. So the Confederación Española de Hoteles y Alojamiento Turísticos, which is the Spanish Confederation of Hotels and Tourist Accommodation has echoed the sentiments and requests issued yesterday by Ash Hotel Executive Committee to Jorge Marichal to remain at the head of the association. CHAT said that it backed the president and wished him to continue at the head of the organization where his work had been exemplary. So we're glad about that. We are glad about that. Okay. I'd like to thank Janet Anscombe and JanetAnscombe.com for all the hard work she puts in there, and go and give her some love. Okay, so ladles and jelly spoons. What's the weather like here? I can actually show you it's 24 in the shade. A lot hotter in the sun, a lot hotter in the sun. In fact, if you, I don't know if you can see this, let me just show you this. Can I take that off? No, I can't. There we go. So these flags here in the sunlight, if I stand on them with my bare feet, I actually get burnt. Burnt, that's broad. For those of you new to the channel, my name's Tim Dowd, and this is an uncut version of my podcast, which I produce Sunday to Thursday. So today's the last one for the week, and Sunday will be the roundup of the weekend. And if you like what you see on YouTube, then like and subscribe and ring that little bell for notifications. We live here in Cayo Salvaje, and just over there is Playa Paraíso, and those two buildings there are actually hiding the Hard Rock Hotel. So that's how close we are to the Hard Rock Hotel. And this is my setup, which is an iPad 7th generation running Switcher Studio, and connected to that is a Zoom L8 mixing desk. On channel 1 I've got the music, and on channel 3 I've got the microphone. We're recording also here, so I get a backup of the recording for the podcast in a high quality wave. This is my microphone, which is a Rode pod mic, and the music is being played by a really old iPad mini, which I really do need to change out, but it's got some great software in it called something Go Button. It's called the software is Go Button, and I can do things like yay. And if I tell a joke, like the worst joke I ever put on Facebook the other day. So the worst joke that I put on Facebook with the way was my friend failed his Aboriginal music exam, and I said, "Did you redo it?" Let me just put this back on here. Oh my golly gosh, he says. Oh my golly gosh. The golly gosh, he says. And there we go. Are we in the middle now? Yeah, we're in the middle. There we go. Cool. So, we got to go. I thought we'd finish, but we got to do the government website now. Hang on a sec. Let me zoom out slightly. Okay. Government. Here we go. Let's go over to the government website. And they are leading with a story that we actually had the other day, which was the program of fostering minors in another family has increased by 28.5% in 2020. The headlines after that, there's usually about 4 of them. Canarias administers 354,705 doses of vaccines against COVID-19. And Torres and the leaders of the CCOO and UGT in the Canary Islands have addressed the distribution of the 1.144 million state aid. Rodriguez is the vice president, aligns himself with the ULL proposal to promote Canarian R&D plan, and health reports 236 cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The rest of the headlines I think we've seen or are not really that relevant, apart from this one I've wrinkled there. A total of 181 wines compete to become the best in the Canary Islands. So we're going to actually do a balcony banter when we can meet again on the balcony, and we're going to start having, instead of the cheap wines, because you guys are so generous, because instead of the cheap wines that we always guzzle, then we're going to open a couple of bottles of Canarian wine and have a bit of a wine tasting. So that's going to be on Balcony Banter on Wednesdays at 5:55. We usually have a good topic to start us off. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the show with saying hello, then we're going to introduce the wines, then we're going to have a sip of the wines, then we're going to go into the topic. So for those of you, and I realize that it's a different type of show on a Wednesday, for those of you who don't want to stick around for the wine tasting, we're going to have that at the beginning and then go and discuss the topic afterwards. For those of you who love the discussions and getting involved, don't forget you can take part by writing in the comments, but also you can go to timothydow.com and to the /live, L-I-V-E, and you can actually register to come on the show and give your tuppence worth live, or ask a question even. And we'll test your connection beforehand and give you tips on microphones, headsets, or little earbuds or whatever, and where to sit, where's the best to sit, what type of lighting you like, and we can have a bit of a chit chat, and then you can come on live and ask your question if you fancy. Okay, so that was the government. So I just got to play. Actually, I don't have to play it out because I actually do that on the. I'll do it anyway. Okie dokie. So we've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. Oh, you know what's next? The next one is my favourite bit, which is small town bliss, which when I say, oh, we got to go and do all this. So what have I got here? I've got this one today. So this is the one I'm going to use. That 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I've messed it up. That's not what I wanted. I want me first. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. That works, doesn't it? Does that work? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Cool dude. Can I put a different background on that? I suppose I can, different colour. I'll do it later. Here we go. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for listening today. Don't forget to download the podcast or favourite it if you like. And don't forget you can get us live on YouTube Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:55, youtube.com/LWMST, where I also put the uncut version of this podcast with extra details, a bit of fun, and you can see the weather as it happens. We do have a Facebook page called @LWMST. And we also do pictures on Instagram. It's @LivingWithMS Tenerife. And for all your communication needs, you can go to timothydow.com, where you can send me a message. You can find out how to sponsor the channel. You can find out how to join me live on screen Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:55, and also look at all the past videos that we did. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you in the next one. That was cool. That was cool. And it just leaves me to do my final bit of begging for the day, which is this one. Google thinks you might like to see this video next, and if you go down and press the little square button where our wedding photograph is, it'll take you to the website to find out how you can support the channel. And the little round one there is just in case you haven't subscribed yet. It's Tim down for Living with MS in Tenerife, signing off. Goodbye.